In the debut episode of Say the Silent Part Out Loud, I'm going to be exposing and deconstructing what I believe to be the actual Islamophobia and anti-Palestinian racism of the Western Savior Hamas Apologists, as opposed to baseless allegations of xenophobia weaponized against critics used as apologia. First, dog whistle. Fake Palestinian / fake Muslim, and similar terms. This would be casting aspersions on someone's identity, thus insinuating that only people who fit the agenda you're trying to promote are allowed to genuinely apply that identity, which, if you're not even a part of that demographic, makes you a linguistic colonizer, and that's terrible. Second, dog whistle. Foreign puppet / Zionist shill, and other similarly degrading terms. Okay, let's just say the silent part out loud here. You're insinuating that a Palestinian citizen of Gaza literally cannot think without foreign intervention. That is an extremely condescending and degrading insult, no matter how you try to spin it. Let's say that again for posterity. Insinuating that an entire demographic is automatically incapable of thinking for themselves is absolutely, obscenely xenophobic. Third, dog whistle. Freedom fighter, and other similar terms, which insinuates that the people of Gaza have no right to criticize the conduct of the militia that has been controlling their lives by framing them as a liberator, even if they themselves contradict that narrative. In order to expose what I believe to be a rather insidious acceptance of Western saviorism, and the double standard between Western saviorism and other forms of prejudice being less acceptable, I'm going to perform what I call a Krun test. The premise of this test is that what goes for Yechezkel Chefetz in Sderot goes for Yakub al-Kran in Rafah. Let's say you had a Tzahal soldier, Sergeant Yechezkel Chefetz from Sderot, and he criticized MK Itamar Ben-Gvir for his complete cynicism towards the peace process, and the Knesset for evicting his family from Gush Katif. Let's also suppose that you had a contractor, Yakub al-Kran from Rafah, and he criticized Hamas's use of tunnels under civilian homes and deliberate perpetuation of a water crisis. Why, admittedly rightfully, do we condemn, as a Jew hater, the neoconservative demagogue, let's call him Neo for short, in the USA, who calls Chefetz a fake Jew or foreign puppet, or says real Jews are warriors, as if a significant proportion of Israelis don't wish the IDF didn't have to exist in the first place. But we don't condemn as an Islamophobe the Birmingham, UK-educated Western Savior wannabe, let's call him Burmy for short, who calls Yakub al-Kran a fake Palestinian, a foreign shill, or says Hamas are freedom fighters. Neither of these assholes are addressing the likelihood that both critics likely have their own gripes with the supposed foreign power they're falsely being accused of colluding with absent solid evidence. I mean, for all Neo knows, Chefetz's house in Sderot has been bombarded with Hamas rockets, and he's sore about that too, but it won't change the fact that Chefetz was evicted from Gush Katif on Knesset orders, and it won't make him less angry about it. And for all Burmese knows, Khan may have had his house demolished in a Tzahal raid, and he may be miffed about that too. But that won't change the fact that he was forced to dig under his own home by Hamas in the first place, or make him less angry about that. Of course, at least Chafetz has considerably more freedom of speech than Krun, so he can possibly afford to laugh off the insult, and probably will. Krun, conversely, is being robbed of his voice due to entitled Western Savior pigs like Burmese casting aspersions on his grievances, which, bluntly, is ultimately no different than victim blaming or automatic dismissal without even bothering to investigate when it comes to abuse allegations. By the way, if you're a Westerner and you take offense to the term entitled Western Savior Pig, by all means, stop acting like a pig. That's all, folks.